All right, so here's the plan for today. There are 3 things I want to knock off my list. Number 1, coffee, probably. You know, I left the house today thinking, this is a perfect opportunity to go get one of the best coffees on Walt Disney World property. We're headed that direction anyway, but now I don't know if I'm feeling it, you know? Have you ever had that happen to you? You know, who knows? My opinion may change by the time we get where we're going. Either way, I'm going to show you where to get what I think is one of the best coffees right here at the Walt Disney World Resort. There's not a long list, but this one is definitely at the top. Number 2, we're going to keep our eye out for some Disney Vacation Club merchandise. Remember the other day we went to Saratoga Springs and we took a look? Well, today I want to see if we can find any more, especially some Halloween merchandise, and I want to keep a special eye out for men's merch. We'll get more into this here in a bit, but I got a couple comments about the lack of men's merchandise that we saw the other day, so we're keeping our eyes peeled just so that we don't miss anything. And finally, Halloween treats. Yeah, spooky season is here. So I want to see what we can find where we happen to be visiting today, which is going to be Riviera and Old Key West, just kind of a spoiler alert there. I looked on the My Disney Experience app and I didn't see a whole lot, but who knows, maybe we'll stumble into something. Of course, we're going to talk about things along the way, including some how-tos, tips and tricks and all of that good stuff on how to get around the Walt Disney World Resort if you're hopping from resort hotel to resort hotel. You know, I know not a lot of people know how to navigate this giant resort, so we're going to talk about that today. Buckle up, it's going to be a good one. Also, weather's not looking great, so cross your fingers we get out of here before it starts to downpour. We'll see how it goes. But our first stop is the Disney Skyliner. This is going to be our ride to the Riviera today, but we can also take the Disney Skyliner to get to Caribbean Beach, to Pop Century and Art of Animation and Epcot. If you've been hanging around with me for a while, you know that I have a love-hate relationship with the Disney Skyliner, so fingers crossed that it goes well today. It's not super windy or anything, so it should be fine, but this mode of transportation is not for everybody. As you can see, this is where the Skyliner will take us. Also, the Skyliner is accessible. You can get on with an ECV, wheelchair, mobility device. If you need to, you can go a special route and get on a stationary vehicle. So they'll pull one off the track so you can get on easily. I'll show you here in a second because we will see it. I know that's a concern some of you guys have. So right here, you'll see that actually as we speak, a vehicle is going to stop. It's kind of being pulled off the track. And then the rest of the vehicles keep moving on this track. See, and then it'll just re-enter. It's easy to get on. Even if you need a little extra help, just know that if you have a double wide stroller, you are going to have to fold that up before you get in here because it is pretty narrow. So anyway, here we go. And just like that, we've made it to the Caribbean Beach station. Now, this is where we can transfer to Art of Animation. You can't see it, unfortunately, because of the lighting. If we go this direction, we can transfer to Art of Animation and Pop Century. If we go this direction, we can transfer to Riviera and Epcot. We also have the option of walking. So if we take this path, not only can we find a Joffrey's and grab a coffee right from here, but we can walk all the way down to the Riviera and ultimately to the other Skyliner station. I don't know what I want to do today. I think, you know what, let's walk. It is, after all, a nice walk. And the weather right now, perfect for a stroll in. The sun is hidden behind the clouds, at least for the most part, which is a nice break. You know, it is Florida. We get a lot of sun. I'm also timing how long it takes us to do this walk. We're at about 4 minutes right now, and I'm taking a pretty casual pace. You know, I'm not trying to break any land speed records today. This also gives me the perfect opportunity to mention something that's been on my mind. I forgot to add it to Monday's discussion, so I want to take a second and tell you that thought before it is just gone forever. Also, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, we did a video where I basically got into it about how people call other people lazy for the way they vacation. If you want to hear the whole conversation, go check it out. I'll put a link in the description for your convenience. But you know, not every person needs to make everything that they do, certainly not every vacation, like the break from day-to-day life, some sort of physical stress test. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with, you know, running while you're on vacation, keeping up with your fitness routine. Like, that's great. I think that that's wonderful, and I support you in doing that. You know, but not everyone has to walk from Skyliner station to Skyliner station versus just taking the ride. Certainly not when you're on vacation. Some people like to take a break. And if taking a break is something that you can't manage because it's gonna throw you off your routine or something, I totally get that. I really do. But that's a you problem. Don't put other people down because they wanna just rest and relax and not challenge themselves every second of every day, you know? Anyway, we've made our way to the other Skyliner station. This is the Riviera station. This is the station that we would have ended up at if we would have gotten on at Caribbean Beach headed toward Epcot. You'll first stop here and then you can stay on the Skyliner and it'll take you over to Epcot. Also, as a little bit of a note for those of you who have mobility devices, ECVs, wheelchairs, whatever the case may be, unlike over at Hollywood Studios and some other Skyliner locations, they don't have a vehicle set off the track. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna stop the Skyliner vehicle so that you can get on with ease. It might take an extra second compared to some of the other Skyliner stations, but don't worry about it. They got you. It will stop. And everyone will stop once you are safely in your vehicle. Everything will pick back up again. It does go pretty quickly, so nothing to worry about, nothing to stress about, but it is a little bit different here. All right, we've made it to Riviera. Now we gotta go in. I wanna show you where you can get that coffee. We're gonna keep our eye out for the Halloween treats and then a little bit of shopping for DVC stuff. Now, I've heard that people have good luck with the Riviera when it comes to Disney Vacation Club merch. That has not been my experience in the past, but I did wanna check, just in case, you know? So we'll see what we can find. Also, a lot of Disney Vacation Club related stuff happens here. There's like a thing happening behind me. So if you're gonna be participating in any of that, make note of Le Petit Café. This is the little coffee shop located here in the lobby of Riviera. They have an almond cold brew, which just can't be beat. They also have some snacks as well. We're gonna check on that here in a second. But first, let's pop into the gift shop. Now, what I'm keeping an eye out for is Halloween DVC stuff, and I do see some of it right out the gate. We've got these really cute, oh, I'm gonna struggle, aren't I? Got these really cute Disney Vacation Club ears, little DVC Jemmy there in the bow, and feels like these light up. Oh yeah, looks like they might. If you look close, you can see this. If we touch it, you can kind of see, let's see if we can go in the dark. You can kind of see they kind of glow a little bit. Looks like this side doesn't glow all that much, but these are really cute. It looks like it does have a Disney Vacation Club thing on the side as well. I wonder how much these are. It says $34.99, but that kind of feels like a steal for something that glows and all that. Also, this bow does come off if a bow is not your thing, so that's worth noting. Now, of course, there's a lot of other Halloween stuff here, but I'm focused on Disney Vacation Club, which means we have to look at this sweatshirt as well. So this sweatshirt does say Happy Halloween. It says Disney Vacation Club on the bottom, and it has those jack-o'-lanterns made out of pumpkins and gourds. Nothing on the back. This one is $49.99, and it is that very lightweight, low-quality sweatshirt that we've been seeing around Walt Disney World. I do want to take a look over here because it looks like we have, oh yeah, we have a t-shirt as well. This one says Disney Vacation Club on it too. Let's see if it says anything on the back. And then this one is $36.99. I will say the quality of the print on this shirt is not fantastic. I don't know if it's coming up in the video for you guys, but it looks like a print on demand, so not really the best. I don't know if it's gonna last, but it is kind of cute. Now, obviously, I said I'm gonna point out stuff for the guys, and I think this falls into that category pretty well, but I think the sweatshirt would fall into that category too. It's a personal preference thing, so let me know your thoughts. Now, we do have more Halloween stuff, but I don't see any more Disney Vacation Club specific stuff in the Halloween section. So let's move on and see if we can find anything else. Now, another thing we're not going to really focus on today is Riviera specific merchandise, but because I'm more interested, and I think you are too, in that just generic DVC stuff. Now, tucked away in this corner, we see that generic DVC stuff. So we just had to come to the other side of the store. And this is stuff that we saw over at Saratoga Springs. So we have the lounge fly, we have this like crop top long sleeve, and then down here I think that this probably qualifies as the guys stuff. You know, this one's for the boys, if you will. It's just a hoodie. We took a look at this before, so I'm not going to focus too much attention on that. But we also have other stuff on this side that is mostly more feminine, more of those lounge flies, the bags, light colors. This is definitely more feminine. I think that this could go either way based on the cut. It's not going to be the color for everybody. And this, of course, is like a bathing suit cover-up. Oh, over here, we have a polo. We didn't see this last time, so this is just a standard polo, definitely for the guys. Although, you know, color is one of those things that may or may not be something you're interested in. $49.99 for that. I don't really love, you can see where they put the, I don't know what this is called, but it's like this thing that they put underneath so that they can embroider. Yeah, I don't know if that, like, well, I don't know if it's going to come off. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but I don't really like the way that it looks, you know? Of course, there's nothing on the back, just a standard polo. It does feel nice, nice and lightweight. So, I mean, I'd wear it. Comfortable, good for warm weather. Also, this hat, I think, qualifies as for the guys. I don't know what this hat is called officially, but I see these in, like, the pits. I call this a pit crew hat. But I don't know, whatever you want to call that. And then this, I think, also qualifies as men's or unisex at very least. It's a more fitted cut, but it definitely is not a feminine cut. $59.99 for this. I do like that, but white is tough, you know? It's hard to keep clean, you know, if you're anything like me or a real person. So, yeah, I think that's all for this gift shop. It's not a very big one, but they do have a decent selection. But here's the thing. I want to sneak over here and take a look in that bakery case and see if there are any Halloween treats. I see some delicious looking goodness, but I don't see anything Halloween specific. So despite there not being any Halloween treats in the bakery case here, they did have this trio. Now, I feel like we've had this before, maybe last year, but I do love macarons and I like spooky things. So I figure, why not? Let's grab these. These were $7.99. It does come with 3. And I have to be honest with you, like most of the things that we try, I just grabbed them. I didn't even take a second to read exactly what they were. So I'm gonna put a description if I can find it right here, but we're just gonna go in. We're gonna taste them and see what we're working with. First, the bats. That was kind of pumpkin-y. I really liked that one. All right, we also have the spider here. They're kind of stuck to the package, probably so that they don't move around too much. But here we have the little spider. I can't put my finger on what that is. It's good, but pretty nondescript. I feel like there was one like that last year too. Anyway, what our last one, and yeah, I am just sucking all these down. I opted not to go for the coffee today, but I got these instead, so. That one was caramel apple, and I'll tell you what, I think it was the best one of all 3. But anyway, okay, so 1 Halloween treat down. Check that off the list. And we did see the Halloween Disney Vacation Club merch, which did include a t-shirt, which is perfect for the guys, and that polo. You know, the polo that we saw. Again, color's not right for everybody, but it is a more male-specific item. But yeah, what do you say we move on? So we're gonna head back to Hollywood Studios via the Skyliner. But before we do, I want to pop into the, why is the name escaping me? It's the quick service here. Primo Piatto. We're going to pop into Primo Piatto, which is one of the best quick services on Walt Disney World property, and see if they have any spooky treats. I love this spot. It's not only absolutely delicious, but conveniently located, so you can pop on over, even if you're not staying here, and grab a really good meal. But we're going to focus our attention on those grab-and-go Halloween treats. So it doesn't look like they have anything Halloween specific at Primo Piatto, nothing spooky or anything like that, but they did have a cheesecake in the cooler. It was a seasonal cheesecake, which I want to say is pumpkin or pumpkin spice. If memory serves me right, we've had this before and we enjoyed it. I mean, what's not to like? Pumpkin and cheesecake. It's got everything you want in one little container. Just under $7, which isn't too bad. We're skipping on that today though, because we've got other places to be. And since Riviera took us by surprise with a seasonal snack that I wasn't expecting, I don't want to miss out on something over at Old Key West. Who knows what they got? So it's back to the Skyliner. We're going to take the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios, where we're going to jump on a bus to Old Key West. We could also take a bus from here to Disney Springs or to another park and then hop a bus to Old Key West. Or if we wanted to adventure a little bit, we could take a bus to Disney Springs, wander through Disney Springs, and then take a boat to Old Key West. That's too much for today. Mainly because I'm really trying to beat the weather. It looks okay right now, but we do have 70% chance of thunderstorms, so we're playing it safe. Also, when it comes to the men's merchandise, a few other thoughts as I make my way kind of around the corner over to the Epcot. Oh no, I'm messing this up. I don't want to go to Epcot. I want to go to Caribbean Beach. So there isn't a ton of men's merchandise right now when it comes to DVC. And I feel like there's been more in the past. I can't help but wonder if this is just another example of the poofy dressification of the Disney vacation or the Disney experience. We talked about this the other day when I went over the things that irk me about the Walt Disney World experience. And some of you said that you get this and you kind of feel this way as well. I can't help but draw a connection here. You know, like even though DVC is a family thing, it seems like the merchandise is mostly for the girlies. And that's just too bad. But anyway, I want to know your thoughts on that. I will also add though, if there is merch for men, we show it. I don't just show stuff for the ladies, you know? I want everyone to know it's available to them. So if you don't see it, it's probably because it's not there. All right, back to Hollywood Studios. All right, our feet are back on solid ground, and I have to tell you, full disclosure, I don't feel great. The Skyliner, like I said, I've got a love-hate relationship with it, but if you get motion sick, it can be a rough ride depending on the weather conditions. I will simply not take the Skyliner if it's windy out or kind of stormy because it swings and it bounces and it's just too much. Today, it didn't seem like that would be the case, but the return trip was a little bit rough. And then I was in a vehicle that has like a design on it, you know? And so when you're inside, you just can't see out that well, depending on the conditions. And today is just one of those days. I couldn't see, I was like stuck in a box. Not great. I feel like maybe that can be a tip. You know, if you get motion sick, go for one of the vehicles that doesn't have like a cute design. Anyway, we're gonna check the directory, see what stop we need to go to. Let's see. Okay, Old Key West, stop 14. So let's make our way over. The stops are listed on the top of each like row. So we're headed to this next one, 9 through 18, and we're looking for 14. Also, because I know Russ is gonna turn to me as we watch this together and he's gonna say, didn't you have ginger candies? Today, no, I didn't. I changed out my bags. I'm wearing Marge Simpson today. And unfortunately, I don't have ginger candies. So we're just toughing it out. It happens, you know, but that's another reminder for me to put some in every bag. I mean, there's crumbs hanging around in the bottom. Might as well be ginger candies, but also for you guys, you know, make sure you have what you need at all times. Eyes up to see what stop we're looking for. We want this one, number 14, Old Key West. Oh, check it out. That's where we're headed. See if we can hop on. Can we get lucky? Yes. You know, Disney transportation, more specifically Disney bus transportation, isn't half as bad as some people make it out to be. It's air conditioned, it's comfortable. Yeah, it gets crowded, but every mode of transportation gets crowded. And it gets you where you're going pretty quickly. You know, I can't argue with that. It's also gonna get you anywhere you wanna go, much less limited than the monorail, than the Skyliner. Anyway, welcome to Old Key West. I wanna check out the treats, I wanna check out the merch, and I'm gonna see if we can catch the bus when it comes back around to pick up at this stop. So we'll see how it goes. That is asking a lot, but I think we have 20 minutes, something like that. So let's see if we can make it happen. Fun little game. First, we're gonna stop at goods, food to go. See if they have any Halloween treats here. This is the grab and go quick service. I don't know if they do. Good morning. Okay, so we have the same little pumpkin that we got over at Saratoga Springs. It looks like they have frozen key lime pie over there as well, but I can't right now. I just feel gross. So let's go shop. I've had mixed results when it comes to shopping at the general store here at Old Key West, but I'm also only out here so often. So we'll see what we can do. See what the selection looks like in here. It's a pretty good sized store. And again, we're not going to focus on Old Key West specific merch, but they do have it. They've got some other stuff as well. Let's see what we can find. So right off the bat, same stuff that we've been seeing everywhere else. We've got that pink, really lightweight Spirit jersey, and here's that newer collection. I think I saw something around this corner though. Oh, okay, I know I said we're not gonna focus on this, but look at this mug. Isn't that the cutest thing? $24.99. All right, let's see. Okay, so here is that other polo that we saw at Riviera, and there's another one. This is a button down, kind of similar, same color, Disney Vacation Club on the front, and it has that design that we really like on the back. It also has a nice print, though it's subtle. Let's see how much this costs. This one is $64.99. You can kind of see the print there. It's nice. I love this design on the back, which is featured all throughout this collection. I will say it's not super lightweight, but it doesn't feel too heavy either. So a nice in between. Behind the registers, we also have those Dooney and Burke bags as well. Over here, they do have Halloween stuff though, but I only see the same two Disney Vacation Club pieces. So this t-shirt that we saw over at the Riviera, and then the sweatshirt over here. So two things that we've already seen. They do have a pretty good selection of Old Key West stuff. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, we saw these mugs over at Saratoga the other day, and they seem to be popping up at all the Disney Vacation Club resorts, but underneath, or actually on the inside, there's a little hidden Mickey, and you can see it on the outside as well underneath. $19.99 for this. This is very cute. I really do like that. And it does say Disney Vacation Club member on it, so that's really cute. If you enjoy a particular resort or you want to get something from your home resort, I'd pick one up. They've got some more Halloween stuff over here as well, but it's the same stuff that we've already seen. We haven't really pointed this out at every location that we've stopped into, but you guys have seen this stuff if you've seen our Halloween shopping videos or anyone else's. We've got the ears here again. So lots of cute stuff, but not a ton of Disney Vacation Club specific stuff. Or I should say, not a ton of DVC member, but not resort specific stuff. Does that make more sense? All right, that's the Animal Kingdom bus. So we may still be able to catch the same bus back to Hollywood Studios. That would just be fun, right? Anyway, not a lot of stuff for men either. Nothing really new for the guys here, you know, same song and dance that we saw earlier. And of course, we only saw that one Halloween specific treat, that pumpkin, which we tried when we were at Saratoga Springs. I do recommend that. That was really good. I would definitely get it again. And then there was that frozen key lime pie. Have you tried that? Russ wants to. And I was thinking about getting it today, but like I said, I just not feeling it, so. Now, according to the sign, which you definitely cannot see, it says that the bus for Hollywood Studios is going to be here at 10:47. It's currently 10:38, so only a few minutes, and then we'll be on our way back. And I dare to say, we may beat the rain. Crazy thought, huh?
A few moments later.
I know you guys wouldn't believe me if I didn't show you, but we caught the same bus back. I know, crazy. Anyway, welcome back to Hollywood Studios. For the record, I am feeling a lot better now, and you can see blue skies over here at Hollywood Studios. You know, I always mention how big Walt Disney World is, but that's especially important to keep in mind when you're preparing for your day. Sometimes you're staying at a resort and the weather looks like it's end of days. Then you get to the park and you realize sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it's the opposite, which is why it's always good to have what you need you know, especially if there's supposed to be rain. I have an umbrella with me today, but usually we bring ponchos or something easy to stow and that won't get us hung up by security. Umbrellas are one of those things that can make your life just this much more difficult. So I opt for the good old poncho. But anyway, we're almost back to the Jeep, and that means it's time to wrap up our day. It was a good one. We had some good treats. We skipped out on the coffee, but just between you and me, there was a guy there that was trying to figure out what he wanted. I said, I recommend the cold brew, and he got it. So I hope he liked it. But we also saw a lot of Disney Vacation Club merchandise. Nothing really spectacular or different from what we've been seeing thus far when we wander around. We did see some of the Halloween stuff, which is cute, but I don't know, I'm not really that into it. Let me know what you guys think. I'll tell you what though, I think out of all the places that we checked out, Saratoga Springs had the best selection. Now, of course, you're gonna find a little something at all of the Disney Vacation Club properties, but if I had to pick just one place to go to, it's gonna be Saratoga Springs. Just too easy to get to, you know, being right at Disney Springs, which is just like the perfect like little detour for your Disney Springs day. And the selection was pretty good, and their gift shop is pretty good too overall. I definitely wouldn't go out of my way for Riviera, and definitely wouldn't go out of my way for Old Key West. Though they did have like one or two things that we didn't see elsewhere, but here's the thing. First of all, that sun is right in my eyeballs. But I'll tell you what though, that can happen with any of the resorts. You gotta keep in mind they move merch around and, you know, here today, gone tomorrow. So just, you know, always keep your eyes peeled and pop in if there's something that you really want. You never know what you might find, but don't get your hopes up, you know? It's the same song and dance when it comes to all Disney merch. But all right, I think that's about all. Before you go though, let me know where your favorite place to get Disney Vacation Club merchandise is. Is it one of the places that we stopped in? Do you have another resort that's your go-to, or do you prefer the Imagination Pavilion? If you're not a Disney Vacation Club member, what's your favorite gift shop on Walt Disney World property? You know, like the one place that you know you can rely on to have that thing you're looking for. I want to hear about it. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.